Hi, guys. Today I want to talk about digital citizenship and online safety. This is a topic we don't really get to talk about a lot during the school year, but I think it's an important one, especially as we go into summer. And a lot of you guys spend a lot of your time in the summer online, and you guys are digital citizens, and you need to know how to behave and how to stay safe in an online environment. So, some rules to remember with your online etiquette or digital etiquette. If you wouldn't say it to someone's face, you shouldn't say it online. All right? It's You have to think of it as if you're talking to them in person. Sometimes, like they mentioned in the video, it makes people brave when they feel like they're anonymous or they're not face to face. But you have to treat it as if you were talking to them in person. And if you wouldn't feel like saying it to them to their face, it shouldn't be put on the internet. Okay? Don't use all caps. That's just a thing about being polite. It does signify yelling in digital etiquette. So if you type everything in all caps, some people might think that you're being rude or you're yelling. There are times to use all caps. I use it occasionally in like presentations to emphasize something. So you have to be a good judge of like when it is a good time to use it and when it's not polite. Like they mentioned, it can be hard to tell if someone's joking. You can't pick up people's tone, okay, over the internet or over a text. So you have to be careful with how you word things. Some things that you might say sarcastically or jokingly, people can't tell that that's how you meant it when you type it. Things tend to sound harsher when somebody's reading something than they do when you're talking face to face. I know that's something that as an adult, I read something somebody typed to me like in an email or a text, and I was like, are they serious or are they joking? And it's hard not to get your feelings hurt sometimes. I know some people get around that by like adding, LOL or a smiley face. And if you're talking with your friends, that can be fine because it might help them to understand you're joking, but still be conscientious of the things that you type. When you're working like in an online forum or social media, somewhere where you're able to make comments on a YouTube video or Facebook, Instagram, anything like that. The comments should always be polite. Rude comments, inappropriate language, name calling, and bullying are not acceptable. So it's just like in person. Like if it's something that goes back to the first one, if you wouldn't say it in like a classroom in front of your teacher, you probably shouldn't be typing it to somebody else on the internet. Okay. So, some of that ends up being what we call like cyberbullying. If you're consistently like bothering one person and, saying rude things to them, calling them names, and it can cause like a lot of problems both in, the digital world and the real world for you and the person that it's happening to. And if you're ever having somebody that, you feel is cyberbullying you, you're having problems, talk to a parent or a teacher or another adult so that we can try to help you. Okay. Because we don't want that to happen to you online any more than we want things like that to happen to you in person. So if somebody is doing these things to you, all right, online, let us know, let an adult know, because we can try to help. Okay, so those were rules to remember. A few more things about staying safe online. These are things that I always want to emphasize. Remember, nothing online is private. Only share things you are comfortable with everyone knowing. Okay, notice I put the word nothing in all caps, and that's not for yelling, that's for emphasizing. People assume, well, I just sent it in a Snapchat or I sent it in a private message, or I posted it on YouTube, but I made the video private. Once you post something to the internet, there are ways people can access even private information. So it's unlikely someone might try to access your private information, but you should always pretend like somebody would, okay? And assume that nothing you put out on the internet is 100% private, all right? So if you have things that you want to share, but you are not comfortable with everybody in the world knowing about it, you probably shouldn't be sharing it online. Don't give out personal information. That includes your address, your phone number, your full name, your passwords, anything like that. there are people out there that could take advantage of situations if they get your personal information. So you have to be safe. Okay. You don't always know who you're talking to online. So you have to be really careful about giving out personal information. Same thing with sharing passwords. You might share a password with your best friend, and one day you guys get in a fight and they use your password to log into one of your accounts and do something that gets you in trouble. You know, you don't want to take that risk. All right. So it's best just to keep passwords private. Be careful about photos. People can learn a lot about you from a photograph, even things you may not realize the picture shows. Some examples I like to give out on this, people take pictures in front of their house, and then somebody that was really determined to find out where that person is, maybe they can see their house number. Okay, and they can use that to help them identify where the person lives. Maybe they are able to do a Google search on an image search on Google and find the address of the house. There's a lot more in a photograph than, just the intended target. So you have to be really careful about what's in the background and what kind of information you're sharing when you post photos. So that's just something to keep in mind. I don't mean never post photos, but one, as a child, make sure you have permission from your parent. Make sure you're not posting pictures of other people without their permission. And just, be very aware of what kind of stuff you're showing in the picture, like in the background. Okay. And then finally, people online are not always who they say they are. You have to be cautious of what you tell people you don't know in person. So if you're talking to somebody through an online game, a website forum, anything, TikTok is a big one where people anonymously contact you that you don't know. Those are the people we don't want you giving out personal information to, and that we don't want you sharing things with, because it could not be safe, and we don't want you guys taking that risk. Okay. So just, you should always keep in mind, unless it's somebody you are absolutely positive it's your friend, you're talking to them in a way that it can be secure, you have to be really cautious what kind of information you give out to people online. Okay. All right. I think that's the end of our digital etiquette and online safety. I hope you guys take away a few things from this so that you can stay safe, all right, and be a good digital citizen in our online world, as well as a good citizen of the real world. All right. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.